Once again, I'd like to say you are welcome to Financial Fellowship Series. This is a platform where we teach ourselves matters relating to finance, money, wealth management, and all other issues that is relating to our well-being, especially in the area of finance. I want to say thank you to everyone who has been following and those who are sharing the videos. Thank you so much. We bless God for what He is doing. And the last episode, we ended the last episode with the statement that accountability is the result of management. Accountability is the result of management. In other words, you own nothing. You were created to be a manager of resources. And don't also forget that resources are in two forms: natural resources and human resources. So we continue in our studies about management. So far, we've looked at management as a creation concept and management as an economic concept. And so today, we have a big question that needs to be answered. And the question is, why are you poor? Why are you poor? Don't also forget that the idea of middle class is becoming obsolete. You are either rich or you are poor. And so, why are you poor? The simple answer is mismanagement. Mismanagement. But let's look at God's position in Psalm 84 verse 11. Psalm 84 verse 11 says, "For the Lord God is a sun and shield. The Lord bestows favor and honor. No good thing," not that word, "no good thing does He withhold from those whose work is blameless." No good thing will the Lord withhold from those who are faithful managers. So why are people poor? Why do we have increase in the number of poverty charts in the world today? The simple answer is mismanagement. So what then is mismanagement? It's just the opposite of management. So management is simply an effective and efficient use of available resources, or a judicious maximization of potentials. So therefore, mismanagement will be the opposite. Mismanagement will now mean an ineffective and inefficient use of available resources. When resources are not judiciously maximized, it is called mismanagement. And anywhere there is a mismanagement, poverty is not far from that place. Poverty is not far from a home where everything is mismanaged. It's not far from an institution, an organization, being it religious or secular, in which mismanagement is of high premium. So anywhere there is a mismanagement of potentials, poverty is not far from that place. Anywhere there is a mismanagement of natural resources, poverty will obviously be there. In the Western world, I think the system has been so organized in such a way that even the water is not wasted. You use the water, it goes through the septic tank down to the main reservoir where the water is refurbished again. Some chemicals are added. They make the water make new, and then the water is separated and sent back to the community. And so you have a circles of good use of resources. But if in your house, in your home, in your institution, you just waste resources, you can't have more. Don't let us forget that you can only have more when you manage the little. So what is the lesson? That at every sphere of life, try not to be a mismanager of resources. Try not to be a mismanager of resources. God is a miracle worker. Yeah, miracle is done every day. It's actually the alteration breaking into the law of nature. But if you are not faithful, if you are not upright, if you are not a good manager, things will be withheld. Don't forget what the psalmist says. He said, "No good thing will the Lord withhold from those whose work is blameless, from those who are faithful managers." Okay, if management is an efficient and effective use of resources, it therefore implies that one, you own nothing. You own nothing. God created you to rule and never to own. You own nothing. Nobody came to this world with resources in his hand. Or have you seen any woman in labor room give birth to a baby, and after giving birth to the baby, then she give birth to money, give birth to housing, give birth to material things that the baby will use? No. Everything the child is going to make use of is already here, it has been created. And so it implies that you own nothing. Genesis chapter 1 verse 28 says, "And God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and multiply, rule." So you were created to rule. And how do you rule? Management. You rule by managing the natural resources as well as the human resources. Your existence on earth is about rulership and not ownership. Your existence on earth is about rulership and not ownership. And so those who say, "Oh, my this, my that, I am the one who owns this, I am that, I am this," I beg to announce to you that you own nothing. And that's why when you say goodbye to the world, you will go the same way. You will go empty. Because you came empty, you will leave empty. And so this idea of "I own this, I own that," it's an indication of greed. It's a greedy lifestyle. You own nothing. What do you need to do is to ascribe the privilege, the opportunity to acquire what you have acquired to He who has not withheld those good things from you. So effective management determines the amount of your resources. Effective management, therefore, determines the amount of your resources. As long as you have the mindset that every position you find yourself, every resources that comes your way, your children, you don't own them, you are to rule over them by managing them effectively, then you continue to receive more, you continue to grow more in resources. And so I'm going to recap by saying that number one, mismanagement is an ineffective and inefficient use of available resources. When we begin to maximize potential judiciously, we are doing management. But if the opposite is the case, that is mismanagement. And so mismanagement keeps people in perpetual poverty. Do you want to get out of poverty? Start learning to manage the resources. Have you seen some people in some part of the world that even though they are poor, but when you give them resources, what comes to their mind is smoking. What comes to their mind is to buy a gin, is to buy liquor, it's just to mess things around. And whereas that same resources has been given to people who are diligent and they have committed it into investment and grow with it. So at home level, let's start to manage our children financially. How? By teaching them how to work, how to save, how to spend, and how to give. Again, how to work, how to save, how to spend, and how to give. If you're doing that, you are teaching them, you are managing them effectively. At home level, say zero tolerance to wastages. Let nothing be wasted. Let everything be well managed, and it shall be well with you. At institution, organization level, we can apply the same principle. It is well with you. Don't be a mismanager of resources. Instead, be an efficient and effective, a judicious manager of both natural resources and human resources. Reason is because you own nothing. You were created to rule. God bless you. Hope to see you next week. Bye.